Hi. Since I started making these videos a little over 2 months ago, I thought to myself, what can I really talk about retirement? Surely I'm going to run out of subject matter. And as I've said in most of these videos, I've been retired now for 28 years. Took voluntary redundancy at age 59 and I'm now 87. When I placed the first video on retirement, I was overwhelmed with response. I just couldn't believe that after placing so many videos on other subject matter and only getting maybe 20 or 30 hits, occasionally 60 if I was talking about public speaking, which is something I know a bit about, then I placed one on retirement. Wow! 5,600 hits in one go. Well, over a very short period of time, and I thought, I'm onto something here. People are interested in retirement. But as I said, what can I talk about? Surely I'm going to run out of subject matter. So far I haven't, and I made about 30 videos, placed less than that at this stage. And I thought to myself, what will I talk about today? And then as I was having my coffee, I thought, what about the end of life? What about the very end of you and me as a human being living on planet Earth? Not very long ago, I was walking around a cemetery. There's one within about 15 minutes walk from where I live. I was looking at some of the headstones, almost faded away, almost non-existent now. The names worn off with the passage of wind and rain and time. And of course, in another memorial, hundreds and hundreds of names where there was no headstones at all. And I thought to myself, all of these people were central in the people of other people's lives when they were alive. And yet, nobody cares about them anymore. Nobody knows about them anymore. Even the most famous of them at that time, living locally, perhaps being councillors on the local council, mayors of the town, no longer of interest at all. So what's this got to do with you? People remember us for a short time after we die. How do they remember us? Not because of our fame, not because of our riches perhaps. They remember us by the way we made them feel when we were around them. That's the most important thing in life, I think. How we make others feel and how they remember us. Now let us hope that the feelings they remember about us are pleasant ones, that they remember us with affection and love rather than its opposite. Which brings me to this. Obviously, this was written by a man who was very, very introspective, and I think it's important to us all. So I'm going to read it. You probably heard it before. It's called The Man in the Glass. Now we know who the man in the glass is, or in your case, if you're a woman, the woman in the glass. Here's what this fellow wrote. When you get what you want in your struggle for self, and the world makes you king for a day, then go to the mirror and look at yourself and see what that man has to say. For it isn't a man's father, mother or wife whose judgment upon him must pass. The fellow whose verdict counts most in life is the man staring back from the glass. He's the fellow to please. Never mind all the rest, for he's clear with you to the end. and you've passed your most dangerous, difficult test. If the man in the glass is your friend, you can fool the whole world down the pathway of years and get pats on the back as you pass. But the final reward will be heartache and tears if you've cheated the man in the glass. Can you see how important it is? When we're in retirement, we know we've reached the pinnacle of our life some years earlier. There might be still lots of it left. Lots of it left. As I said, in my case, I've been retired 28 years. And maybe I've still got a few years left. So what have I been doing with my life? I'm able to look back and think to myself, I think I've made the world happier rather than sadder, contributed to the commonweal, done my bit, and I think this is important, and it becomes more and more important in our retirement. We look back on our lives. Have we been selfish? Have we been self-centered, thinking only of ourselves, building our own little empire and not thinking about anyone else much? Then retirement comes, and you're no longer maybe the big boss, if you were ever the big boss, the CEO, somebody of importance whilst working, but now you're out. You're not out on your own, there are other people around you. You formed your own group, but basically, let's face it, we come into this world alone and we go out of this world alone. What sort of memories, what sort of feelings have you created in the minds of others in this long, long journey between cradle and grave? I hope that you can look in the glass and know that the man or woman in there is your friend.